There are certain reasons for the checksum. Web framework or RESTful API, from check 2 or 3 to keep failing. The very first one is if you are using f-strings. The reason for this is that the checker is using Python version 3, and it does not support f-string. F-string was introduced in Python version 6. Solution is to check through your project for any use of f-strings. If you found one, modify it to use string.format. The second reason is if you did not document your modules, or any of the files or the modules are underdocumented, not having enough words for the description. Check if you documented all of your modules. The third reason for check 2, 0 or 3, and straight to the last, check for some tasks to keep failing is if there is a circular import if you are using the checker to test your codes without first running it on your terminal. There could be a circular import that escapes you. In other words, you have to test your app locally. The fourth reason is if you are importing a module you are yet to install. Make sure that all the modules imported in your app.py and the rest of the files are already installed. Those should cover all the reasons. But if you checked all of the mentioned possibilities and still to no avail, then it's time to use the importlib module to check all your scripts.
So what we're going to do next is like I said, we're going to create a file, and I'll name it checkdocs.py. So in this file, we are going to use the, let's say, from import module should be portlib. So this module, we are going to use it to test all of our files to see if it's going to help us to check what's really wrong, why the checker keeps failing, maybe pass from task 1 or and 0 1 and then fell from 2 to the rest, or pass 1 2 3 and fell from 3 to the rest. So what we're going to do is we are going to create this variable module to check, and we are going to call the import module. So you see here, this module is going to take an argument, and the argument is going to be the name of the file or the module that you want to check. So what I'll do, okay, I think we are going to do this from the command line. So I'll import sys, I import the sys module, and I'll say sys.argv. So we are going to be passing the name of the file from the command line, and I think I should use a try and except block, because this is going to throw an error if the module or the file name does not exist. So I think it should be a module not found error. So if it's not found, I want to print out what it's going to be. And if it's found, what we are going to do is we are going to use the print statement and then pass in the module to check. And once the module is imported, we want to check if it is documented. I think this is supposed to return Boolean. So let's save this and let's try the first one. So we are going, this is how we are going to be passing the, what's the name of the file again? Check docs.py. So we are going to pass in the file name as an argument, api.v1.app. So if I press enter, you see that we have create a Flask app that starts an API, which is if we go to API v1 and we go to app, we are seeing that this what we receive here is the same thing with our module documentation, and we don't have any issue. So you have to do the same thing for views.states, and this is the documentation for states. You do the same thing for cities. So you keep going. Let's assume that because we are not getting errors because I have the all the modules installed and I have all documentation. But let's assume for a second that some of the modules that I'm using that is not installed on my PC. So I'm going to activate my VMV, because inside this VMV I've not really installed any module. So for Windows is scripts slash activate. Then if you're using Ubuntu, it should be bin slash activate. So I'm on Windows. So now I'm going to try and run this for cities, and let's see. It says no module name Flask, because in this my VMV, this virtual environment, I've not installed Flask. So but if I should go ahead and install Flask, anytime now, and I clear my terminal and I'll check this again. So you see, is no longer talking about Flask because I've installed Flask. It's not talking about SQL Alchemy. So you have to keep going and keep installing everything. I believe at the by the time you're done installing everything and you check all of your files, especially all the files in the API, this API directory, and you're not coming across any error again, that should resolve the issue with the checker failing from check 2 or check 3 to the rest of the checks.